Hi, my name is Elizabeth Carr, and I'm here to tell you why putting nutrition labels on food menus and packaging will help individuals make better food choices and thus help the obesity epidemic. As many people in the course have posted earlier in the semester, it is definitely clear that nutrition is a very important, if not the most important factor contributing to this obesity epidemic. This is why it is so important to research ways in which we can help people make healthier nutrition choices, i.e., putting nutrition labels on food menus and packaging will help with this issue. Let me start by telling you about the regulations of food labeling and showing you an example of regulated food label. So here's what a basic nutritional food label looks like. It's nothing fancy, and I'm sure you've seen it a million times. It's usually easily found on the side of the box or package to help people see it with no problem. So these labels really started to show up on packaging after the Nutritional Labeling and Education Act of 1990 was passed by Congress to give regulations of what foods need to have nutrition labels on them, what the labels must include, what types of claims a product may advertise it, and things that would fall under this category. Having majored in marketing in my undergraduate degree, I have seen firsthand the techniques and methods companies have and will go to in order to sell more products and make more money. And no, this is a definite downfall of food labeling. However, I know that there are many FDA regulations which are found in the NLEA that companies are trying to get around following. But I have read and learned in past courses that the FDA is cracking down on this situation for sure. An article from the Journal of European Marketing by George Baltus cites Abbott saying, in the UK, more than 80% of people which were surveyed claim that they look at labels and that label information affects their purchase decision. Mueller, Zarkin, and Anderson in the same paper said that most consumers also use information on nutrition labels the first time they purchase a product and then becomes a source of new knowledge they can draw on similar purchases. This article also explained that a frequently mentioned reason for switching products is to reduce the intake of negative food components such as saturated fats, cholesterols, etc., which, as you can imagine, is an obvious benefit of the food label. This paper also explained how people perceive the intake of these negative substances. For instance, people thought that minimizing the intake of negative nutrients seems to be more important than consumers than maximizing the intake of positive ones, such as a fiber or healthy fats. This is another positive factor of nutrition labels, since people are becoming interested in eliminating the unhealthy foods which contribute to obesity. In a study done by Lando and Lowe, who are from the FDA Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, they surveyed 9,000 people using the current single food labels, such as the one I just showed you right here on the side of a pasta box. They also used food labels with double columns, breaking up serving sizes. I didn't have one to show you, but it would look something similar to this with the food label here, and then what it would look like for a different serving size. And then food labels showing the whole package as one serving size. So that's, for instance, those medium-sized bag of chips that people usually eat in one sitting, but might contain 2 serving sizes. So they just combine the whole bag into one large serving size. The study showed that people were better able to read and understand the calorie size and nutrition for the packages with the double column, which is this one that I just showed you, and the one with the larger whole serving size nutritional label, such as a bag of chips. They also noted that, of course, nutrition food labeling is just one area of helping people choose foods and maintain a healthier lifestyle, but it is definitely a valuable tool, which is important that we continue to study and look for new ways to help people get this information and understand it, and then use this information to actually buy the healthier foods. In an article on nutrition labeling and consumer choices by Kissel, McCluskey, And Villas-Boas says that the FDA is considering on changing the format and content of nutrition labels so that the information is more symmetrical for consumers and will further increase the use of the food label. In the same article, it states that Kim found that using data from studies done that people who used nutrient-specific labels had lower nutrient intake of calories from saturated fat, sodium, and cholesterol, which are obviously negative nutrients, as well as a higher intake of fiber relative to those who did not use the food labels. They also found that label usage increases the probability of reaching a higher healthy eating index, which is obviously a benefit for maintaining a better weight and a healthier lifestyle. This paper, which was very lengthy, showed many research studies and results which definitely reassured me of my side on this debate. In the EU, a study done by Straneri says that although the nutrition label is very important in consumer choices when purchasing, people often use short messages on front labels, according to a study. And if this is true, short messages on the front labels of products, such as this one where it says like heart healthy grains and just shows a couple of the better nutrition facts on the front of the label, can increase consumer awareness and increase better consumer choices. With that said, even if people aren't using the lengthy nutrition labels on the sides of the boxes and packages, they can still be making better nutritional choices just by viewing the facts on the front of the package, which can also be helpful. This paper shows some interesting studies and thoughts showing that there are definitely benefits to the nutritional label and its positive effect on people choosing healthier foods. Moving on to another really important topic in nutritional labels on restaurant menus. In an article by Zick, Wake, and Reeves, approximately 1/3 of meals are consumed outside the home, and these meals usually contain more calories, fat, and salt than if we had eaten meals at home. Clearly, this is a definite primary contributor to the obesity epidemic, and although, as I'm sure you will hear, a lot of people have reported that a large part of the public have problems understanding and evaluating nutritional information. However, this article reassured me that studies have proven that consumers who read food labels have lower intakes of food, eat more fruits and vegetables, and generally have a healthier diet than those who don't use the food labels. Therefore, just knowing these facts, why should there be any doubt that placing nutritional labels on menus would not help at least some part of the population make healthier choices and thus preventing obesity? This article also stated that a recent study at a fast food chain found that when nutritional information is shown at the point of purchase, that an average of 109 calories less is consumed. Knowing this, the movement like that in which has already happened according to the federal law that for food chains with over 20 outlets must put calorie counts next to the item on the menu is definitely going to make a difference. I know one issue that you can see in the article is that the menu changes can be expensive and time-consuming. But compared to the cost that it is causing our country's health system, I think that this cost is actually very minimal. The government could look into offsetting these costs like they did while trying to get companies to use better environmental techniques by giving them monetary initiatives. Maybe something like that could happen in the food world. My bottom line is that as someone who has spent much time studying consumer behavior and marketing research, there are going to be results that show that this is not going to help some consumers make better choices. But as with anything, we aren't going to get 100% of the results that we need. It's more important that there is research that shows that these advanced labels and nutrition facts on products and menus do in fact have some positive result on people making better nutritional choices. Hence, this is helping in some way, shape, or form to prevent obesity and stop the epidemic.